So if you remember last time, some of the things we did was, we were looking at ways of measuring central, central tendency. Okay. That's what we were doing as last time. We saw things like, what does it really mean? In other words, what does it really mean to say this data or this number or whatever is the center? I mean, what does that really mean, though? There's different viewpoints, so to say, you can take, right? We saw that, you can have the mean as the center. You can have the median as the center. We defined what those were last time. And we also had this mode, right, as the sort of center. What's nice about the mode is that the mode can actually be used not just for qualitative data, but for quantitative data, for quantitative data and qualitative data. For the mean and median, you can only use that for quantitative data. For the mode, however, you can actually use it for both. And that's what this example, which we did last time, showed. We had these favorite colors and the frequency of, I guess, how many people that stated what their favorite color was. So the mode, again, remember, is the element that appears most often. For us here, it would be orange. I mean, you can't calculate the mean, right? Mean is just average. Median, you really can't calculate either because you sort the data somehow. But how would you sort this? Is blue before orange? Is orange before green? I mean, we don't know how to do that. A mode, however, you can. However, that is, you can calculate the mode for this kind of data. I mean, most of the data we're dealing with now is quantitative data. Okay. And again, the mode is just the one with the largest frequency. So this is I think this is an example. It might be the one that we did. Oh, this is one. I did do this last time, but I want to do this again. You can have a data set that has more than one mode. It has more than one mode. As over here, orange appears the most often, but white, the color white, also appears just as often as orange. Both of them appear the most often, so they're both the mode. So you can have data that has more than one mode. That can happen. You can also have data, again, this stuff I went through last time, so, and also again, I emailed everyone the notes, so you should have it in front of you. Also, you can have data that doesn't have a mode at all. That can happen. You can have data that doesn't have a mode at all. For instance, look at this data set. Right? All the colors happen to appear at the same frequency. In other words, they all appear, all data values here appear at the same time. So there's no mode. Right? There's no data value that appears most often. So that's another example. Okay, before we do this backup example, originally I was going to let you guys try this, but I figured that, the last time we had lecture was Thursday of last week. So I figured it'd be good if I did this with you. It's actually a backup example from the previous lecture. I think it'd be good for us to do here. But before I do this, are there any questions about the mode? Again, I can't see the chat, so if you have a question, you got to use that hand raise feature. Okay. So here we want to find, again, these are just exam scores. I guess, I don't know what the experiment was, but for now, it really doesn't matter too much. Namely, okay? Namely, we have, somehow we recorded different exam scores from an exam that we gave. And this is the corresponding frequency of each. And we're asked to find the median, the mode, and the mean of the data as presented here. Now, I mean, theoretically, you could just list the data out if you want to. You could write 25 times, 41 10 times, and so on. But let's not do that because that's going to be very, what's the word? Cumbersome. Is the right word. Well, it's going to be very tedious. It's going to be a pain. Let's not do that. Instead, we'll just work directly with the frequency table. I mean, right away, also, you could probably figure out what the mode is, right? You just look at the frequencies, and the number that appears most often is the mode. And oh, I forgot to delete these. Sorry about that. I thought I deleted this. I thought I deleted this one. There we go. My mistake. Here we go. Sorry about that. All right. So now, okay. So again, what you want to do with the median, right, is you want to sort the data. Okay, that's the first thing that you want to do. Okay, just want to make sure I delete everything else supposed to. So some examples there from last time that I was supposed to delete. I thought I deleted them all, but that's all right. Anyway, so to sort the data, remember, when I say sort the data, I mean you want to sort it based on data values, exam scores in this case. You're not going to sort by the frequency. What you do want to do, when you sort, is you want to make sure you keep each data value with its frequency. So for instance, you can see from here probably that 15 is the smallest, but you're going to keep the frequency 10 with 15. So it's almost like what you're doing is you're sorting this by exam scores, but what I mean again, and what I'm trying to say is 15 is the smallest, but you keep 10 with 15. That's why the top row, the smallest value, is 1510. So it's almost like you're sorting the rows based on the exam scores. So 15 is first. We also have 25. We also have 40. And next after that would be 38, and so on. You could actually sort this data using Google Sheets. Remember, I did show you what you do is you put the data into one column, highlight, and if I remember correctly, you click data, and then you click sort column from A through Z. I mean, I think we'll see that later. But if you forgot how to sort using Google Sheets and you need help with that, don't be afraid to ask me. But we do sort. So we'll find the median first. Now, notice that there are a total of 100 data values, okay? There's 100 of them, as you can see. Now, by the median, what you have to do, remember, is this. If there's an even number of data values, right? Whatever that number is, call it n, or in this case, it's 100. You divide by 2, and you look at the n over 2 and n over 2 plus 1 position. So in this, we're going to look at the data values in the 50th and the 51st position. I'm just using the process for finding the median. I did go over that last time, so it's in the notes, which you do have in email. So I'm going through that process again. Here, our n is 100, which is even. So we have 100 over 2, 100 over 2 plus 1. So we're looking for the data values in the 50th and the 51st position. What we have to do with those two is get their average. In other words, we find the data values from the sorted, once it's sorted, in a 50th and 51st position, and we get their average, their mean. Okay, but now what's nice, but now we only have a frequency table. No big deal. We know the first 10 values are going to be 15. Okay, you know, they're all good. The first 10 data values all equal 15. The next 12 all equal 25, meaning data values 11, 12, 13 up to, including 22, that's what I'm showing here, they're all equal to 25. Notice how I got that data values from 11 to 22. I have to add 12 to 10, as you can see. The next 15 data values, so data values from 23 up to including 22 plus 15, which is 37. Those are all equal to 38. And then the next 10 data values, which is data values 38 to 47, right? We add, we get 41. The next 10 values, next 10 data values, which go from 48 to 57, those all equal 43. Now we could keep on going if we want to, but we really don't have to. Because the 50th and the 51st data value we see here both equal 43. Now I'm taking the average, but if they're both the same, you really don't have to. But the median you get here is 43. Again, I'm just illustrating the process we saw last time, which is in the notes I emailed you, before the previous lecture. So you do have the notes there. I mean, I haven't posted the videos yet, and I am sorry about that. But, again, it won't be on the test this week, so. Okay. And the test this week, I forgot to say this, it's also, as before, it's take home, of course, and you can use your notes, a calculator, whatever, but you can only work alone. If you have questions, you have to email me. Okay. I'm saying it now because I forgot to say it before. All right. So that's the median. Now, the mode, I'm pretty confident it's on the next slide, and yes, it is. The mode is, now why is that? Well, that's the data value with the highest frequency, as you can see. Data value, highest frequency. Just pause.